Good morning and welcome back to WJCN right here. And we thank you guys for staying with us this morning. And this morning, for those of you who don't know, I have my great friend here, Miss Vedra Sullivan, and she's going to tell us about living intentional.
Good morning, Miss April.
Good
How
morning.
are you?
I am
Absolutely.
excellent. I am excellent. And tell me, what is it behind intentional?
Intentional for me is my mantra for life. I got on my intentional kick about 4 years ago during a vision board party.
Okay.
We had to affix a word to our visions or our plans or our goals that will hold us accountable to actually do what we said that we would do. And one of my hang-ups in life, one of my character flaws, believe it or not, I have some of those, is that I'm horrible at follow-through. I can plan for the next 100 years, but the follow-through for me, the execution for me was always a challenge. Okay. So that year I decided that it didn't matter what I put on my board, I needed to put more energy, less into planning, but more into executing. And so the word that I have fixed to my board 4 years ago was intentional. Intentional means to be deliberate. Intentional means to be calculated. Intentional means to do everything on purpose or with a purpose. And so after that word kind of, took over my life from that day forward, it's kind of taken over my life. There's not a thing that I think about. There's not a thing that I do that thought doesn't go into, because everything means something. Everything means something. Nothing happens by chance. The people that we meet, the places that we go, the conversations that we have, it's all in God's ultimate plan of purpose. So we have to be intentional with those opportunities that God presents us with.
So when he presents us with an opportunity, and we sometimes get lazy.
Yes.
And we just like, I'm going to do it. So how do we just start to execute? How did you start paving that path of trying to be really being intentional about what you're going to do and executing your plan?
So here's where the conviction came in.
Okay.
Because I now know you all have to stay tuned for my next book.
Oh.
That one's going to be great. It's going to be all about purpose. About purpose. So with purpose, what God showed me was it's just really all about taking advantage of the opportunities that he puts before you. So because opportunities were before me, because God put goals and ideas and dreams in my heart and in my spirit, and I wasn't doing those things. So now that I look at purpose as simply being opportunity, when I don't seize those opportunities, then now to me, God has convicted me and said that that is a sign of disobedience. Ooh. So the Bible teaches us, we all know that life has gotten really hard for us at times. My. And I can't help but to wonder is when the scripture said obedience is better than sacrifice. I don't know about you, but I've had to give up a lot of things. I've made a lot of sacrifices in my life. Was that unknowingly? I can't really say that. It wasn't because I just didn't do what I knew that I was supposed to do. And so now I'm kind of afraid of that. I've suffered a lot and I don't want to suffer anymore. I don't want to sacrifice anything more than I have to sacrifice. So I just prefer to be obedient. If he gives it to me, if he brings you to it, he'll push you through it.
Wow. So you mean to tell me when you have a project to do and you know God told you to do it and you just like keep putting it off?
That's it.
You ain't being obedient.
You're being disobedient.
You're being disobedient.
You're being disobedient.
Oh, okay. You talking about me this morning.
So
I got a few tasks that I need to complete. And it's like, God's like, okay, well, if you going to slack, I'm going to slack.
Right.
You saying you want all of this, but I can't tell you.
Well, think about it, April. He chose you. Out of all the people in the world that God could have chosen, he chose you to carry out this mission. And that's a blessing in itself. It could have been anybody, but it's you. Thank God just for being a vessel.
Just for being a vessel. And I need to be a great steward.
That's right.
Over what he has blessed me with.
That's right. There's some people that dream about what you have.
Ooh. Y'all get this chick. Get her. I'm telling y'all, she bad. She bad. So Vedra, you went on a mission for not only yourself,
right,
but for others.
For other people. For other people, absolutely. A couple of years ago, I've had this for a long time, but remember what I told you about executing the things that it's like, who knows how to write a book? Back in high school, I think I'm a Granger, go Big Blue.
Go True Tigers.
We had a newspaper, and I forget what it was called. It's been so many years ago, but they messed around and made me. It was Miss Schmaker. I want to say what's her name, but I was the editor of the newspaper. And I've always had not necessarily a knack for writing. I've always just kind of enjoyed it, as long as I could write about what I wanted to write about. Well, God said, here's something that I need you to say, and I wanted to figure out the best way to say it. Getting up in front of people sometimes, April, is really a challenge for me.
Me too.
I didn't want to be judged by the things, that I had to say, but I knew that they had to be out because that was the assignment. So I decided, okay, God, I'm going to get this assignment out via a book.
Okay.
A book. This book is called Get Up. Now,
Up.
it's prefaced in a time in my life, like I said, I haven't always been who I am. I'm not now who I was created, all the way to be, but I'm on my way, I can say that. But during this time, I was in very low time in my life. I can tell anyone in the world that depression is real.
Wow.
Depression is not prejudiced. Depression has no respect of persons, no matter where you come from in life, the opportunities that you've been given. And I can honestly say that I was full-blown depressed. Can't get out of the bed, in the bed, but really couldn't sleep, no appetite, thoughts of suicide. And that's just, an honest place to come from. Church girl, been in church all my life. I love the Lord. Depressed, just covered up by life. And it wasn't until one day on a balcony, and this is all in the book, just in the very beginning, I had to get it out just that fast, about how I dealt with my situation, how God dealt with me in such a way, in such a short amount of time, that convicted me about not only getting covered up by life, but laying down on life. It wasn't that he had given up on me, I had given up on myself. And so in this book, I give 4 principles about how to just move forward, how to move from that place of stagnation. 2 of my favorite ones, I will have to say, one is being aware of where you are, because awareness is everything. Awareness is everything.
Yes.
You don't know that you need to be up if you don't know that you're down. You don't know that you need to be in if you don't know that you're out. You don't know exactly what you need to make yourself the best version of you if you don't know what areas in your life you are deficient of. And here's what we as humans have a hard time sometimes accepting that. And that's the next thing. You have to be aware of those deficiencies, and you have to be accepting of those deficiencies. And that's the only way we're ever going to move forward. And I just want to encourage someone today, just put it in my spirit. Don't be afraid to accept the fact that you're not perfect. Don't be afraid to accept the fact that you have shortcomings. Now, is that a place that you stay? No, it's absolutely not. You become aware, you accept, and then that moves you to your next step. After you're aware and you accept, then you have to believe that you can be better. You have to believe that.
To be better.
After you accept, you're aware, you believe that you can be better. Next, you have to choose to be better.
Choose to be better.
Accept.
It's a choice?
It's a choice. It's everything you do in life. Everything you have, April, is a direct result of a decision that you have made somewhere along in our lives. This Friday, I'm going to be down at Bethlehem. Thank you for that invitation to talk to our young people about leadership. Leadership is simply the influence that we have over one another, the ability to affect the way a person thinks, the ability to affect the way a person feels, the ability to affect the way a person believes. That's really all it is. And the first person that we're really the leader of is the leader of ourselves. And at the end of the day, nobody can really make us do anything. We're responsible for that. We're responsible for that. So after you accept, after you are aware and you accept and you believe and you choose, then you have to become intentional in the doing of better.
Intentional of doing better. Now, you mentioned the book. The book is titled Get Up.
It's called Get Up. I also have to send a special shout out to my wonderful co-author, Mr. G. David Rogers. Thank you, David, so much for believing in me and in helping me complete this project. He did a lot of contributions in the writing, and also he designed the cover. You can pick this up on Amazon.com. The book is just simply entitled Get Up. You can type in the title, Get Up, followed by my name, Vidra Sullivan, or G. David Rogers. Also, I actually have a couple of copies on hand. I keep these in my trunk, April, because everywhere I go, you never know. Because remember what I said, you're on assignment,
That's right?
So just like today, I feel like I'm on assignment, and I know that you were there at my book signing. Thank you so much for covering that. And I couldn't remember for the life of me, did I give April a book that day? It was such a busy day.
It was a busy day. And not only that, y'all brought the bikes out. So then I got really like, oh my goodness. Y'all had all the bikes, and then y'all educated me on the bikes and everything. So I
just wanted to make up for that this morning. And this may not even be for you, but my assignment today is to give this to you. Your assignment may be to give it to someone else. I don't know. But I just love you, April. I love your spirit. And I wanted to give this to you this morning.
So tell me, when I read this book, what am I going to take away from this?
When you're gonna read from this, you're gonna take away the fact. First of all, like I said in the introduction, Vidra is human. I am human. I have human issues. You're going to take away from the fact that Vidra has made some mistakes. But guess what? I'm not the only person in the world. Right. God has placed me on a platform in order for me to show people that it's okay to be normal. It's okay to have struggles. You know, it's okay not to be perfect. Also, you're going to take away, like I said, 4 just very powerful principles as to what we can do to move forward beyond, the accepting and the awareness. One of my favorite chapters in the book has to be about believing in the power of you. See, this book is actually based on Acts 3, in the Bible, where the man that laid at the gate and he just begged for, for what he needs. And then the disciples come along and they said, we don't have any money. All we have is the voice. All we have is the authority today, not only to make you get up, but just simply, they just told him words. Take up your bed, walk. That's all they told him. Now, had that man never been told to get up and walk before, he probably had, but it was all about timing. In life. It was all about, was he ready? It was all about, was he ready to be obedient to the assignment, that he was given? There was no heavenly hocus pocus. God didn't rain down legs from heaven or anything from that man. It was just a decision that he made in that moment to be obedient, to get up, and to live his best life. After all those years of laying there.
Just get up.
Just get up.
Just get up. Now, Vidra, I must share with you all that Vidra is available for speaking engagements. She'll come out and she's going to speak to our youth on Friday at Bethlehem. And also you are part of the Real Academy.
Yes, the awesome brothers down there. We've got Henry, Aaron, Alantio, missing Kevin. Good morning, guys. Yes, those guys, and that's amazing how attraction works. I'll tell anyone, when you're doing things for the kingdom, it will attract all of the right people. Yes. When I tell you I never met these guys in my life, our first meeting was 2 weeks before the Real Academy actually kicked off. We met downtown West Point at the pizza place. Okay. Because I was watching some things that Henry had been doing, in the community, as well as Patrick and Aaron, and it was like, those are really noble things. I love to see people doing good. I love to see people being obedient. But God has placed in my spirit every year, at least particularly in the summertime, I like to give back, particularly to our youth, because people say that our youth are our future. Believe it or not, our youth are our right now. And we can't continue to discount them until later on. We have to include them right now. They have a contribution. And so I reached out to Henry Alantio, which actually was 6 months ago, even before he ran for city council. It's like, I admire what you're doing. Anytime I can help you, let me know. So this time God was like, I told you to do this a long time ago. You didn't do it. See that conviction about being disobedient. Right. And so I reached out to him and I said, look, I have to get this assignment out. If you have something coming up, let me know. I'm there. And he said, wow, it's amazing that you would reach out to me in this moment, because just the day before he met with Patrick and Aaron about what he wanted to do, to birth his baby, the Real Academy, revitalizing education and leadership. Leadership. Oh, I can help there. We met 2 weeks later. The rest is history. It's history. So that goes to show you that if you would just do your part in saying yes and moving, he'll do the rest. Right, and place yourself in the position to do. Yes. So and also we want you guys follow her on Facebook. It's Vidra Sullivan. I'm Vidra Sullivan on Facebook. Also, my business page, Intentional Me. Follow me at Intentional Me. You can follow me on Instagram, Intentional Chick. That's me. That's CHIC. I'm Intentional Chick at Intentional Chick on Instagram. Also on my website, www.IamIntentionallyme.com. Make sure you guys follow her. Please do so.